So you may have seen on the news over the past couple of days and weeks even, there's been some really high profile cases of ransomware. But what is ransomware and why do you need to worry about it? And the answer to that question is, you do need to worry about it. So let's break it down for you. So ransomware is essentially a piece of malware, but you may want to think of it as a virus. It just helps you to comprehend what's going on, so I explain this through for you. It's designed to infiltrate your system, so whether that be through a malicious attachment to an email, whether it be one of your employees or yourself downloading a file from the internet, or even an infected memory stick that could have come from home from one of your employees, for example. It will install itself onto your computer and it will then encrypt all of your files. So that's your Word documents, your Excel spreadsheets, your Access databases, your pictures, anything on your computer, it will encrypt. And what do I mean by encryption? That means that when you try to open up a file, it will ask for a password. It will say, or in some cases, it will change the actual file extension as well, so that if you try to open a Word document, your computer will say, well, I don't know what to do with this file, I don't know how to open it. You'll also be greeted with a nice pop-up on your screen saying that your computer's been infected with ransomware. You need to pay the ransom and it will be in Bitcoin, and there'll also be a timer. It's normally around 24 hours they give you to pay that ransom. If you don't pay the ransom, you lose all your files if you don't have a backup. So if you decide that you want to pay the ransom, then you will need to pay in what's called Bitcoin. It's a digital currency. The reason that the ransomware makers like to be paid in Bitcoin is because it's extremely hard to trace that payment back. So you won't be able to reclaim that money back. Now, caveat to this, the US government actually, with the oil pipeline ransomware attack of a couple of weeks ago, they did actually manage to reclaim about $2 million worth, but that was using the full resources of the FBI and the CIA. So probably the chances of you get your money back is a bit less than that. So if you don't pay the ransom, like I said, you potentially have lost all of your files. But if you do backups, at least once daily, I would suggest hourly, then you'll be fine, because what you can do is reinstall your operating system in all of your programs, transfer that data back, and your system's clean. Some of the more complex ransomware that's out there will actually hop between all of the computers and servers within your network and infect all of them. So you could be looking at a lot of downtime associated with that as well. So you need to have procedures in place to make sure that if something like that happened to you, you had some extra devices that are left maybe turned off or unplugged from the network, so that at least you can get up and running again with that those backup files. Don't think you're immune if you use Google Drive, OneDrive, SharePoint. If they're connected to your machine, the ransomware will encrypt those as well. So just think, because you haven't got a server on site, you're safe. You're not. You are still potentially vulnerable. So there's 3 ways that you can really protect yourselves from ransomware. The first is to make sure that you've got a nice, robust, secure antivirus, anti-malware system running on all of your machines. The second is to make sure you've got good cybersecurity. So what do I mean by cybersecurity? So internet filtering. So if you try to download a malicious attachment from a website, it would be blocked because it would be known to be malicious, and of the file as well. So it will block that from actually even entering your systems in the first place. And the same is true for your emails, to make sure you've got a good email filtering system on there. So again, it will block those malicious attachments and they won't even hit your inbox in the first place. And thirdly, do not think because you're a small company and you're not a multinational that you will not be hit by ransomware. You will at some point, unless you're running these good systems to keep you safe. It's only the multinationals and the big school academies, for example, that make it onto the news websites, but every day small businesses, much like yours, are being hit with ransomware. I've been running Geeking It Simple now for the best part of 7 years. We've seen this on 3 separate occasions with businesses that were running no cyber security and very minimal antivirus, so they were hit. Thankfully they have backups, so we could get them back up and running. But of course, once they have been hit, then they invest in the enhanced cybersecurity to stop it from happening again. Whereas the best place to do is invest with that now to stop it from even happening. If you'd like some more information on this, I'm happy to sit down with you via a Teams call for 10 minutes and just talk you through all of the best practices to keep you safe, to identify the areas that you may have weaknesses in, and then obviously to help you improve. Look forward to talking to you soon.